I was at home and I heard distant screaming. I came out to the balcony and could see this yacht going back and forth. And at first I thought it was just like a party boat, you know, and they were yahooing. But then I saw all these torches going into the water and I was like, oh, okay, someone's fallen in. This is not a party boat. I drove to the Coast Guard. No one was there. I begged the guy upstairs to call the police. I think someone had already called the police by that point because a cop did turn up, one guy, pretty quickly. But by that point, the yacht had gone from like over there to here, and me and my girlfriend and my elderly neighbor were the only ones here when it crashed into the rocks. And then we just had to listen to people screaming for help for hours. You know, when it was happening, I was fairly calm because I was just trying to think, okay, what can we do? My neighbor had some of those inflatable donut things and I was able to throw them pretty close to people, but the people that I threw it to, I think, were already dead. And it wasn't until I was talking to my parents and I was recounting everything that I really realized how disturbing it all was. So, and it makes me angry just how it all played out. We were the only people here when it actually smashed against the rocks. And we were here for... My neighbor, you know, thinks that the rescue effort was a miracle, and that might be true. I was a bit critical of the fact that it took like 2 or 3 hours to get rope over the cliff and to really get this system going, you know, because it just didn't seem that it was that complicated to do. And to listen to people screaming for help for 2 or 3 hours whilst no one's... I mean, people were making an effort, but it seemed like the locals who brought a local crane and local firefighters, like, because no one seemed to be communicating. There was no megaphone to communicate with people. Some of the migrants were trying to climb up the cliff. It was a shit show, and it could have been, I don't know. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. We carried a guy, the first guy out, we carried him to a car. We got him towels from our apartment, we got him water. I told him to take him to the hospital. I don't know why the rescue crews weren't doing that. But anyway, the locals came together really well. I mean, this is the 4th crashed ship in Diakofti in the last however many years. There's one there. There was a yacht a few months ago. The Coast Guard need to have more resources, you know. They need to have like rubber dinghies that they can get in, and they need to have megaphones that they can communicate with people. I just hope they're better resourced in the future.